All right, this is Dan Meehan for Fight News Australia, and today we have eternal MMA welterweight champion Jack Della Maddalena, who takes on Ange Loosa this Wednesday morning Australian time at Dana White's Contender series. Jack, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for having me.
No worries at all. Thanks for stopping by.
Sure.
First of all, happy birthday. I know you can't do much given that you're a few days out from a fight, but have you found a way to celebrate it all?
Not really. We've just been like just usual stuff, training, eat some good food. There's not, yeah, as you said, there's not a whole lot you can do, but we've had a good couple of days, and yeah, today's just another good day, so cannot complain.
Excellent. Now, I was reading the other day that you had a full-time job in finance for much of your career. Are you in MMA full-time now, or are you still working on
Full
the
time
side?
at mate now. This year has pretty much been the change for me. Gone delved into it.
Brilliant. And how on earth did you balance like study, work, and being a professional MMA fighter?
It was just basically just commitment. I was committed to the sport, so it was easy. I enjoy training, so being in an office all day, like you get fidgety fingers, and I was pretty keen to get into it when I got home. So it actually worked out well. I wasn't like being in an office isn't like physically hard work. It can be mentally a bit draining, but like by the end of the day, I always wanted to blow out. So it worked out well at the time.
Yeah, and after a short amateur career, you made an 0-2 start as a pro. Was there ever a time when you thought a job in finance might have been a better option?
Many times, but I stuck at it. You know, we had two hard losses off the trot, which is obviously tough, but I still loved competing, and I was still thought I had more to give. I thought I was better than being like an 0-2 fighter. So just stayed committed, kept training. And then luckily we basically, after my second loss, we actually made me and my coach made sort of set out a goal that we'd get to 10 wins, 2 losses. And it's cool that here we are. I'm at 9-2 now. So we're about to tick off like a solid goal that we set out quite a long time ago.
Absolutely, and yeah, as you say, since that 0-2 start, you've rattled off 9 straight wins and all inside 2 rounds. So, did anything in particular change after that second fight? Is there one thing that you can sort of attribute that turnaround to?
No, not to be honest, not really. It was just obviously learning from the losses was a big thing. You always, when you lose, you obviously learn a thing or two, and just basically just staying in there and just keep training and just stick to the grind, you know, and having that goal in mind obviously helped, and we've just been slowly ticking away. But no, I can't attribute it to anything in particular, just not giving up, you know, just staying in there.
Yep, and in your last fight, you avenged your first pro loss in knocking out Alden Bates in just over a minute. So, how do you reflect on that fight, and sort of what did that win sort of mean to you?
It obviously meant a lot because I always knew that that was a very tough fight for me, my first one. Like a big, strong guy, like a fully grown man, basically. And I was just sort of 19, I think. So I was sort of young in the sport. And I copped a decent beating, which is well needed, I guess. But it was obviously felt so good to get that one back. I always knew that I always thought that I was better than Alden. So it was just the perfect time to prove it, you know. And yeah, it feels good. It feels like I've just come full circle, and we're about to tick off that final goal and then set some new ones.
Absolutely, and of course now it's all sort of coming to fruition, isn't it? You've got a fight in front of Dana White with a UFC contract on the line. So, what was the feeling like when you got that call?
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, I was super excited. Like I thought we were getting close to the big show call up, but we just stayed in there and got the call to Dana White Contender Series and embraced it with open arms. You know, I thought it's an awesome opportunity to get to. The show looks cool, no crowd. I like the way they do it. It's very like you rock up, you pretty much have a fight, and then see what happens at the end. So it's exciting. I'm super pumped for it.
Do you get any sort of indications beforehand that you're on the radar of the big promotions, or does it come as a bit of a shock when you get the call?
We were sort of in the radar. We were close. We were in the talk, actually in the talks with the UFC maybe just before my last fight, and then after that fight, it was just tough at the time because of restrictions on travel and all that sort of thing. But yeah, after my last fight, we were in solid talks and we were just waiting, and then opportunity struck, and yeah, we had to take it.
Absolutely. Now, the opponent this time on the Contender series is Ange Loosa. Now, I can see that he's fought over the world, all over the world in some pretty obscure promotions, just looking down his record. And we know he's from Sanford MMA, which is a room full of killers. But how much do you sort of know about him?
With not a whole lot. Like I know I've watched a few of his fights, I think his latest couple of fights a few times, but yeah, not a whole lot. You know, it's sort of new territory. We think we have a good grasp on his style and nothing. I can't pick up any crazy tendencies of his, but we've sort of got a good solid grasp on his style, I guess, and we sort of have an idea of what to expect.
So how do you feel that you guys match up?
I think it's a good matchup for me. I'm always keen to have a fight with someone that's going to come forward and push the pressure. I feel like I've got good eyes and I'll be able to see shots. And at some point during the fight, I feel like I'll take my opportunity. And yeah, if that doesn't finish him, I'll just keep taking that opportunity until it does.
And how do you see the win going down?
I think I'll get it. I'm always keen on a finish. A finish is basically what I want to get. I don't want necessarily to win a decision. It doesn't have the same feel to it. I think finish is definitely my goal, and I think it will probably be around that first minute mark, or the first break mark, whether before that break or just after that break. So end of round 1, start of round 2, I think.
Yeah. And how was training camp? I imagine over at Scrappy, you're probably not affected by COVID protocols too much.
Nah, we were super lucky. We maybe had a 2-week period where it was a bit closed down, but apart from that, it was a good camp. I had a good solid year of focusing strictly on training. So had a good solid year of training, and then the last couple of weeks just picked up the sparring and got into that peak physical condition.
Yep. And how far in advance do you head over to Vegas, and sort of so how do you get acclimatized once you're there?
We got here about pretty much 2 weeks prior to the day. So probably been here for about a week, maybe 9 days now. So, but we were lucky, like the flight was pretty empty. So we could pretty much snag a whole row, have a good sleep, have a rest on the plane, like stretch out a bit rather than being crammed in there. And then we got to Vegas in the morning, probably hadn't slept for like a full day, but we just stuck it out, you know, just stayed awake. And pretty much after that first night, we were good. We were tired that day, but had a huge sleep that night. And we were pretty much back in normal time. So it was we were no complaints. We were acclimatized real quick.
Is there any sort of quarantine or any sort of COVID protocols that you have to follow over there these days, or are they released all that?
We had a week pretty much on our own. We just had a little Airbnb, just relaxing, and then probably 3 days away, we got moved to the hotel here. So now we're in pretty much bubble mode. We can't leave the hotel facilities, but it's not too bad. There's a pool here. You can get food in. We can cook, so it's all right. We can go out. We can go outside at least. And then obviously the 2 weeks when we get home.
Yeah, exactly. So that was actually going to be one of my questions I always ask when guys are competing overseas. But what are you going to do for 2 weeks in quarantine?
I don't know. We're going to have to get some sort of exercise equipment in there just to keep the wheels spinning, I guess. But I don't know. Probably just relax, cook some good food, order some good food, and just watch the clock, you know?
And so I guess this probably seems an obvious question, but you know, assuming of course you're successful on Wednesday morning or / Tuesday night. So what are the sort of the long-term goals? You know, once you sort of make it to the big leagues.
Well, sort of still in that mindset of kicking this goal out of the way. 10-2 is a big goal that we've had, so we'll get that out of the way, and then we'll set some goals. But I'm thinking it's probably going to be get another 5 wins, but the ultimate goal is, of course, I want to climb those ranks. You know, I don't want to do this sport just to like hang around in the top 15. I want to give the ranks a good solid crack.
And do you have sort of a time frame in mind? Like obviously fighters have a sort of a limited window in which to sort of have their careers and, you know, their prime years. Do you have a sort of a time frame in mind of when you want to sort of reach the lofty heights?
Not really, to be honest. I'll just I think if I wait, maybe as soon as I wake up a couple of days in a row and I think, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, that will probably be it. But at the moment I'm enjoying it. So who knows what the future will bring. So I guess I'll just do it until I don't have the same passion as I do now for it.
Absolutely.
Which
Now,
could be, I would imagine it will be a good. I've got a good couple of years to go.
oh, you should hope so. Now, back here in Australia, the fight will have already gone down by the time this interview goes to air. But your teammate from Scrappy, Jack Becker, is taking on Dan Hill for the Eternal Lightweight title tonight.
Yeah.
What's your prediction for that one?
I think Jack has been training at Scrappy probably now for about maybe just under a year, and him and Rod Costa have been a massive gain for our team. It's awesome to have them. They're fully part of our team now, so I definitely think he's going to win. I'll be getting up early, 3 a.m. this morning to watch, and I think, and I definitely think he's going to win. I reckon he might get the submission, maybe late second round.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a good one. That one, I think. I imagine training with Jack and Rod must be a bit of a nightmare on the mats. They're both pretty heavy boys.
Yeah, for sure. They're both incredible grapplers, and now they've got hands to back it up. So it's an awesome team we've got going on at Scrappy, and I think we'll definitely be successful this next week.
Does that feel like a level up for you as well? Sort of having training partners like that day in, day out now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome. It's like we just different little strong, solid grapplers with good scrambling ability. So it has been massive benefit to my game, and I think same goes with them. I think they've benefited from the team, so got a good solid team.
Absolutely. Now, Jack, before I let you go, do you have any sponsors or anyone you'd like to shout out? I'll hand the reins over to you.
Jitsi have done us some awesome training gear, good jiu-jitsu gear, training gear. NIQ is a good one. That's the crew. NIQ is our electrolyte drink. So if you need some electrolytes, hit them up.
Absolutely. There we go. Jackson, thank you so much for taking some time out on your birthday to catch up, and all the best on the Contender series.
Thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate it.